Good morning everyone. Myself Rupa. Today I am going to discuss regarding some of the basic principles, some of the basic techniques we use in the chemistry regarding the symbols. Symbols. What is this symbols represents? Symbol represents one atom of an element. Symbols, it represents one atom of an element. Then what is an element? Element is nothing but it is a combination of same type of atoms is known as element. Element is a combination of same type of atoms. So let us see how these symbols are used to represent an atom here. Initially, the scientist name known as Dalton. He gave the symbols for the atoms in terms of figures. Dalton gave circle for oxygen atom and he gave one circle with central part dot for hydrogen, and he gives one circle which is dividing by a line for the nitrogen. So Dalton gave the symbols for the elements in terms of figures. It was very difficult to remember the symbols in terms of figures. Later on, the scientist name known as Berzelius, he gave the symbols in terms of letters. Berzelius gives the symbol in terms of letters. For example, if I take carbon, the first letter of carbon is C. He represents the symbol for carbon as C. Symbol for carbon as given as C. Oxygen, first letter was O. He gave the symbol for oxygen as capital O. We have to write these elements symbol in terms of capital letters. Sulfur, it starts from S letter. The first letter was given as S. Hydrogen, symbol for hydrogen is H. First letter was H, hence he gave the capital H. Berzelius gave the symbols of these atoms here in terms of its first letters. We have to write the capital letters. Symbols are represented in capital letters. Later on, he found that some of these are having same name. For example, if I take calcium, calcium also starts from letter C, carbon also starts from C. Then how to name such atoms, such elements, how to name such elements? He found another way. For example, calcium, first letter was C. I cannot write it as C. If I write C, it becomes what? Carbon. So Berzelius used that first two letters is given as a symbol, Ca. First two letters was considered. Calcium symbol is capital C and small a. Berzelius told that first letter should be written in capital and the second letter should be written in the small letters. Silicon, I cannot use it as a S because S itself is a sulfur. So first letter is written in capital, second letter it is written in terms of small. Osmium. Osmium, here O is capital. First we have to write first letter capital and second we have to write in terms of small letter. Helium. Helium, first is H small e, helium. Same, we cannot write because COSH we have given for carbon, oxygen, sulfur, hydrogen. Hence, two letters were considered. First two letters were considered as a symbol. In that, first we have to write with a capital as well as the second one with the small letters. Some of the elements were named based upon even its Greek as well as Latin name. If I take this one cobalt, for example, if I take cobalt here for this, C is first one, O we have to write in terms of small letter. Why we have to write this so small letter means if I write C capital and O capital, what it will become? This is for carbon and this becomes for oxygen. Hence, cobalt is represented as capital C and small o. If I write capital C, capital O, it becomes carbon monoxide. Some of the names are given based upon its Greek as well as the Latin names. For example, if I take iron, iron, its Latin name is ferrum. Symbol, it is taken as first two letters as Fe. If I take gold, gold is aurum, Au. Silver is argentum. Here it has taken A and G, not AR, because AR represents for argon. So hence it is taken AG. If I take potassium, potassium, it is given the Latin name as kalium. Here we represent only one letter, that is K. Here there may be two letters or there may be one letter or they may be first and the third one. Anyway they may give here, but it is named based upon its Greek and Latin name. Some of them are named miscellaneous way, different way, the elements. For example, if I take magnesium, magnesium, here it is named as symbol as Mg. M capital, G small. M is first letter, G is the third one. Here they are named different way. We call such as miscellaneous way. For example, if I take tin, tin is stannum. Stannum, it is the Latin name. Here the symbol for tin they have given as Sn. First as fourth. There is no any rule, just they gave it as Sn for tin. So these are the different ways they have named for the given for the symbols. You have to remember the 118 elements symbols which are present in the periodic table. Slowly as you go on studying, you will come to know the symbols very easily. Many of them you know, even in your school days you have used so many symbols. Then next comes here the regarding an atom. What is an atom? Atom is an indivisible particle of an element. Here how we represent these atoms in terms of its diagram. If I represent, center is the atom, center part is the nucleus, which is positively charged. Around this nucleus there are having the shells. These shells are also known as orbits. Center part of the atom is the nucleus surrounded by orbits are nothing but the path traveled by the electron. These are known as orbits or it is known as shells. Inner part, first shell is here n is equal to 1. First shell, second shell, third shell and this is the fourth shell. We can represent in terms of number or in terms of alphabets. Here the first shell it is known as K shell, L, M, N and so on. What does this N represents here? N is equal to 1 means here the electron belongs to first shell. N is equal to 2 means second shell. 3 means third shell. 4 means fourth shell. Or we can represent in terms of alphabets as K, L, M, and O and so on. Here you know that if I take one chair, on a chair an adult person, a single person can sit. The capacity of that chair is a single person. One person can accommodate here. Similarly here in the shells, each shell is having its a specific accommodation. The number of electron, maximum number of electron, it can probability of having maximum number of electron. Here in the first shell it can accommodate 2 electrons. Second shell can accommodate 8 electrons maximum. Third is 18 and the possibility for the fourth shell is 32. Here 2, 8, 18, 32. This is the capacity of the shell to accommodate the electrons. Here the electrons are present in the S, P, D and F orbitals. First shell it is having only S orbital. Only it is having S orbital. It is having a capacity of holding only, accommodate only maximum number of electron possible is 2 electrons. Second shell it is having S as well as P orbitals. S capacity is 2, P it is having further 3 subshells as Px, Py and Pz. Total it can accommodate 8 electrons. Third here orbitals is having S, P, D and the fourth one will be S, P, D as well as F orbitals. Here if I take this fourth shell, this is the outer shell. If in this atom, outer shell is which one? Fourth shell. We call this outer shell as outermost shell or valence shell or it is known as ultimate shell. The outer shell it is known as outermost shell, it is known as valence shell or it is known as ultimate shell. In the competitive exam they may ask you the number of electron present in ultimate shell. Ultimate is nothing but valence shell or outermost shell itself is known as ultimate shell. Here the electrons which are present in this shell, outer shell, is known as a valence electron. Here the number of electrons present in its outermost shell is known as valence electrons. After this outer, just inner to this valence shell is known as, this shell is known as penultimate shell. It is known as penultimate shell. Just inner to the valence shell is the penultimate. Ultimate shell, valence shell, penultimate shell. Inner to that penultimate shell, inner to this penultimate shell is known as anti-penultimate shell. Anti-penultimate shell. Here one rule it is known as octet rule. What does this octet rule says means, An atom, it becomes a stable, an element on atom will become stable when its outer shell it is having 8 electrons. When it is having octet configuration in its valence shell, then it is a stable element. Here there should be total 8 electrons in its outermost shell, then the element is a stable element. Then that rule is known as octet rule. What does octet rule says? In its valence shell the number of electrons should be 8. That is, it should have octet configuration in its outermost shell, then that element is stable. Then in nature all the elements tends towards the stability. They want to attain the stability. What they will do to attain this stability? They may gain the electron, they may lose the electron, or they may share the electrons. Why they lose, gain or share the electrons? To attain stability, to attain the octet configuration. These elements in nature, they gain the electron, lose the electron or share the electron to attain a stable octet configuration in its outermost shell. If I say this octet rule, here let us take this, explain this octet rule. Octet rule using the noble gas elements. Noble gas elements. Noble gas elements are helium, neon, argon, krypton, xenon and radon. Atomic number. Helium atomic number is 2, neon 10, argon 18, krypton 36, xenon 54 and radon it is having 86. In your school days, you know the electronic configuration used to write in terms of the numbers, that is first shell, second shell, third shell, fourth shell, how much it contains. So in terms of electronic configuration, in terms of its electrons, electronic configuration in terms of electrons here. See, here it is having only 2 electrons. So helium it is having doublet structure with the 2 electrons, it is stable. If I take this neon, first shell 2 electrons, second shell it is having 8 electrons. Total it is 10 electrons. Second shell means it is outer shell. Number of electrons in its outer shell is 8. An element which is having 8 electrons in its outermost shell, then that element is stable. Neon is stable with outer electronic configuration of 8 electrons. If I take this 2, 8, 8 for the argon. So first shell, second shell, third shell it is having, last shell is having 8 electrons. Similarly 2, 8, 18, 8, 8, 2, 8, 18, 18, 8, 2, 8, 18, 32, 18 and 8. If you see this, all these elements are having outer electronic configuration. How many electrons are present in its valence shell or outer shell? It is having 8 electrons in its outer shell. Hence, except helium, all these are having the octet configuration. Neon, argon, krypton, xenon are having 8 electrons in its outermost shell. Hence, these elements are stable in nature. Noble gas elements are stable. They are very less reactive because it is having octet configuration. Octet configuration means the last shell, valence shell, is having 8 electrons in its outermost shell. So the elements in the nature, they want to attain stability by having these noble gas elements. They tend towards to attain a stable configuration which are nearer these elements. For example, if I take any element which is having atomic number 8 or 9, they want to tend stable configuration as that of the neon. After this octet rule, let us see the valence electron or valency. Valency. What is this valency? Valency is nothing but it is the combining capacity of an element. Valency is the combining capacity of an element is known as its valency. There are many definitions. One of the definition is the combining capacity of an element. Another definition is number of electrons. That is, what type of electrons here? Valence electrons. Valence means the electrons which are present in the outermost shell is known as valence electrons. Number of valence electrons gained, lost or shared to attain the stable octet configuration in its outermost shell is known as valency. What is the valency definition here? Number of electrons lost, gain or share to attain stable octet configuration. Octet means it should have 8 electrons in its outermost shell. Octet configuration in its valence shell. You can write it as valence shell or it has the outermost shell or ultimate shell. Then here number of electrons, valence electrons. Number of valence electron, valency. Suppose an element in its outermost shell, it is having only one electron. It may be 1, it may be 2 or it may be 3 electrons. If it is having 1 electron, 2 electron or 3 electron, what this element will do? It will lose the electron. When it is having 1, 2 or 3, it will lose the electron. When it will lose the electron, if it loses 1 electron, its valency becomes +1. Whenever it is lost means plus, gained means minus. If it has lost 2 electrons, +2. If it has lost 3 electrons, +3. So here the valency of these elements becomes +1, +2 or it may be +3. When an element will lose electron, when it is having in its outermost shell 1 electron, 2 electron or 3 electron, it will lose the electron to form +1, +2, +3. After losing this electron, it will form octet configuration. Hence, it readily loses electrons. Here its valency becomes +1, +2, +3. When it is lost, charge is plus. When it is gained, charge becomes a minus. Which are these elements which readily lose the electrons in nature? These are all metals. What is the nature of these elements here which readily loses? Electrons are metals. Then if I take 4, here 4 electrons are present. What happens here? To attain stability octets, it requires still 4. Yes or not? 4 is there still. If it gets 4 means what happens here? It will form octet. When it is having 4, it will neither lose or gain, it will share the electrons. Here it is written as 4. What type of this element is shares here? We call such elements which shares the electrons as metalloids. I told you in the previous class, what is metalloids? Metalloids are the having characteristics of both metals as well as non-metals. In its outermost shell, if it is 1 means it will lose 1 electron. When it will lose its outermost shell becomes 8 electrons. So it will lose 1 electron. If it is 2 is there, it will lose 2 electrons. If it is 3 is there, it will lose 3 electrons, and in its outermost shell it becomes 8 electrons after losing 1, 2 or 3 electrons. Such types of elements are metals. If it is having 4, to form octet it requires still 4. It will share electrons, 4 electrons it will share, hence these types are metalloids. If in its outermost shell, if they are having more than 4 electrons, that is 5, 6 and 7. If it is 8 electrons means what? It is octet, it does not require any electrons to share. If it is having 5 electrons, outermost shell is having 5 electrons, here it will gain the electron, because to form octet it requires 8 electrons. Is it possible to lose 5 electrons? Better to gain the 3 electrons to form 8 electrons in its outermost shell. When it is having 5, 6 as well as 7. If it is having 5, 6, 7 electrons in its outer shell, these elements will gain. To form 8 electrons, it gains 3 electrons. When it gains 3 electrons, here charge becomes minus 3. 6 electrons already are there, it gains 2 electrons, minus 2, already 7 is there, it requires only 1 electron, hence it gains 1 electron. The elements which are having valence electrons in its outermost shell, it is having 5, 6 and 7. These elements gain the electron to form charge as minus 1, minus 2 as well as minus 3. Minus 1, minus 2 and minus 3. They gain the electron. What type of these elements in nature? These are all non-metals. What are non-metals here? They gain the electrons. Whereas metals, they readily lose the electrons. For example, if I take one example and I will explain you how these valencies are represented. Let us take an example for sodium. Sodium here represented by symbol Na. Sodium is having atomic number as 11. Sodium atomic number is 11. Sodium, it is having atomic number 11. If I take this positive charge nucleus, first shell, second shell and the third shell. Total number of electrons are how much here? 11. Atomic number represents the number of electrons. Capacity of first is here, it can accommodate 2 electrons. First shell 2 electrons. Second shell, its capacity is 8 electrons. So 2, 8, total it has become 10. Here it is having 11. So outermost shell it is having how much? It is having only 1 electron. Sodium is having inner is 2 electrons, second shell 8 and third shell it is having 1 electrons. To attain stability, what it will do here? If it loses 1 electron, what happens? In its outer shell becomes 8 electrons. It attains stable octet configuration by losing electrons. Hence, it loses electrons. Minus 1 means it loses electrons. Sodium loses electrons. This is sodium, symbol is Na. Sodium loses its valence electrons to attain stable. After losing 1 electron, here it will form Na loses electron to form. Charge becomes plus or plus 1 to 8 because it has lost 1 electrons, hence its charge becomes Na plus. It attains stable by obtaining octet configuration. After losing this electron, what happens here? Now in its outermost shell, how many electrons are there? 8 electrons. There is no any electrons in the third shell, only second shell having 8 electrons. Similarly, if I take chlorine, Cl, chlorine, it is having atomic number for chlorine is 17. So here I can represent this one as first shell, second it is having 8 electrons and outermost it is having 7. First is 2, third is having 8 and outermost is having 7 electrons. Total there are 7 electrons in its outermost shell, 2, 8, 7. Total is 17, 2 plus 8, 10 plus 7 is 17. Outermost shell it is having 7 electrons. What it will do, this chlorine, it will gain 1 electron because to form 8 electrons it requires still 1 electron. Chlorine will gain 1 electron and it will form as Cl minus. After gaining 1 electron it will form, total number of electron in its outermost shell is 8 electrons. It will form as 2, 8, 18. Chlorine gains the electron because it is outermost shell is having 7. Whereas sodium loses electrons because in its outermost shell it is having 1 electron. If it loses this one, it will form an octet configuration. So in nature these elements either lose the electron or gain the electron to obtain a configuration, octet configuration. This charge is known as the valency. Here it may be positive valency or it may be negative valency. Let us see some of the valencies. After this we can write some of the radical here. Radicals, what are these radicals? In radicals there are two types are there. One is positive radical and another is negative radical. Positive radical and another is the negative radical. If I take hydrogen, so here its valency becomes a +1. It loses 1 electron, H becomes H plus. If it is H plus, it is an example for positive radical. If I take chlorine, it gains 1 electron, Cl is -1. So what type of radical it becomes? Cl minus. It is a negative radical. If its charge is plus, positive radical. If its charge is negative, it is a negative radical. What is the definition of radical? A radical may be an atom or a group of atoms. It may be from same element or different elements combined chemically to form a positive or a negative radical. If I take example is hydroxide. It is OH minus. It is formed from two elements, one is oxygen and another is hydrogen. A radical may be an atom, it may be a single atom, may be an atom or group of atoms from the same element or from the different elements combined chemically to form a positive and a negative radical. Here this element hydrogen, its valency is +1. If I take a chlorine Cl, its valency is -1. Fluorine, its valency is -1. These are all the negative radicals. Fluorine, chlorine, bromine is -1, iodine is -1. These are all having -1. Its valency is -1. If I take oxygen, O, its valency is -2. Sulfur, if I take, its valency is -2. If I take nitrogen, nitrogen valency is -3. Here it gains 1 electrons to form octet configuration. Oxygen sulfur gains 2 electrons, whereas nitrogen gains 3 electrons. Hence its valency is -1, -2 and -3 respectively. If I take hydrogen +1, similarly sodium, if I take Na, it is also having +1. Potassium, it is having +1. If I take calcium, it is +2. Magnesium, magnesium also it is +2. If I take aluminium, aluminium is having +3. So let us write some of the compounds using these valencies, right? Let us write some of the compounds. If I write sodium chloride, sodium chloride, what it is containing? One is sodium. Sodium is what? Na. Chloride is what? Cl. What is the valency for Na? Na is +1. What is the valency for chlorine? Chlorine is a -1. Whenever we write any compound, remember that there should be, both should be different. One should be positive and another should be negative. First we have to write positive radical, then we have to write negative radical. We cannot write both positive or both negative. Na plus Cl minus. Here we have to cross the valencies. Both are having +1, +1 and -1. There is no any necessary to regarding the charges. Here we don't consider the charges while writing formula. It is sodium chloride formula becomes what? NaCl. Similarly, if I write a calcium chloride or calcium bromide. Calcium is what symbol? Ca. Bromine is Br. What is calcium? Ca +2. Bromine is what? Br -1. We have to cross the valencies. Calcium Ca, it is 1, no need to write. Br is +2, CaBr2, calcium bromide. Similarly, magnesium chloride, if I write, magnesium chloride. Magnesium is Mg +2, chlorine is Cl minus. Cross the valencies here. Cl minus only 1, Mg, it is only 1. Cl is 2, MgCl2 is the formula for magnesium chloride. If you know the valency, you can easily write the formulas. Regarding the other formulas, how to write, we will discuss in our next session. Thank you.